Good evening, dear friends. Greeting from me in Woofy Village. By the way, are you prepared to surrender to the arms of a tranquil night's sleep? Or perhaps you wish to lose yourself in a tale that's as calming as it is captivating? If so, I have the perfect narrative for you. Our story tonight gently peels back a day in the life of a young man named Bogus Tenanto, a barista at the Rain Cafe, a quaint coffee shop nestled in Woofy Village. But before we embark on this journey, I invite you to take a deep, soothing breath and release it slowly. Do it again. One more time. Okay. Now, let's dive into the story together, shall we?
Once upon a time, in the village of Woofy.
The door to the Rain Cafe swung open, revealing a vision of grace. A young woman, Diana Maharani, elegantly clad in a hijab, stepped inside. Her face was familiar to Bogus, yet shrouded in mystery. Their roles were simple. He is the barista, and she is a customer. Yet, Diana was not just any customer. There was an enigmatic allure about her that ensnared Bogus' heart. She was a breath of fresh air in the quaint village, a unique presence among the cafe's patrons. Bogus found a strange comfort in observing her. Each time she nestled herself at a secluded corner table, cradling a steaming cup of cappuccino, her face partially hidden behind an 11-inch e-book reader, he was drawn to her. She seemed to revel in her solitude, undisturbed by the gentle hum of activity around her. And then, she moved, gliding towards the cashier with an air of quiet confidence.
A medium hot cappuccino to enjoy here, please.
Diana's voice, soft yet clear, wafted through the tranquil ambience of the cafe. With practiced efficiency, Bogus displayed the price on the screen phone. A serene smile graced Diana's face as she paid using the quick response code Indonesian Standard, or QRIS, on her phone. The transaction, like their interaction, was simple yet meaningful. Diana then glided to a secluded corner near the bar counter and the wide window, her haven within the serene confines of the cafe. Settling comfortably, she plunged into the universe of her Kindle novel, whispering tales from far-off realms. Bogus delivered Diana's order to her table. A smile graced her face as she expressed her gratitude. Then, her attention was once again ensnared by the enthralling narrative on her digital pages. The cafe wrapped them in a comforting silence, the rhythmic patter of raindrops outside providing a harmonious soundtrack to their shared solitude. While others sought refuge from the downpour, Diana found comfort within the woven story of her e-book. Bogus found himself irresistibly drawn to her, captivated by the peace she radiated. Her gaze, steady and unwavering, navigated the depths of her novel, effortlessly traversing through characters and plot twists. He admired her engrossment, contemplating the enigmas hidden within the artfully crafted words. What secrets did she unearth? What insights did she derive from the complex weave of the narrative? Bogus found himself lured by the aromatic charm of the cappuccino, its enticing aroma drawing him nearer. Yet, Diana remained absorbed, undisturbed by the alluring fragrance that surrounded her. But in a moment of curiosity, Diana placed her Kindle beside her drink, capturing the moment with a transient photograph. With refined grace, Diana held the saucer in one hand and the cup in the other, lifting the warm concoction to her lips. In the tranquil ambience of the cafe, her gentle sips echoed a melody of calm, a symphony of relaxation set against the soothing cadence of rainfall. Bogus watched in silent reverence, captivated by the ritualistic dance of her consumption. In that fleeting moment, amidst the rain-soaked serenity of the cafe, Diana embodied a serene tranquility that transcended the ordinary. After savoring the first sip, Diana's gaze lingered on the surface of her drink, her thoughts drifting into a realm of sensory exploration. Bacchus couldn't help but notice the serene expression that graced her features, a silent testament to the intimate connection she shared with her beverage. With each sip, Diana seemed to navigate the intricate journey of the cappuccino through her body with exquisite precision. Bacchus observed with a sense of wonder as she savored the warmth that caressed her throat, the gentle rhythm of her heartbeat echoing the cadence of her consumption. It was as if Diana possessed an innate understanding of the drink's journey, a reverence for the delicate dance of flavors that unfolded with each sip. And so, she indulged in the experience, savoring every moment as the cappuccino enveloped her senses in a symphony of sensations. As she returned to her e-novel, Diana continued to alternate between reading and sipping, each action a seamless transition from one world to the next. With each turn of the page, she delved deeper into the narrative, losing herself in a sea of words that offered solace amidst the gentle patter of rain outside. Despite nearing the end of her drink and her e-book, Diana showed no signs of leaving. Instead, she remained ensconced in her corner, her gaze fixed on the window where raindrops danced against the glass. Bacchus still watched her, intrigued by the enigmatic aura that surrounded her. It was as if Diana had peeled back the veil of reality, revealing a hidden world that lay beyond the confines of the cafe. And though he couldn't fathom the depths of her perception, Bacchus couldn't help but admire the quiet strength that emanated from her serene demeanor. In that moment, amidst the gentle embrace of rain and the quiet hum of the cafe, Diana stood as a silent observer of life's fleeting moments, her gaze fixed on the world outside as she sought solace in the gentle rhythm of the rain. Diana's gaze focused on the menu displayed on the wall, her brow furrowing in contemplation. Bacchus patiently awaited her decision, curious about the thoughts that occupied her mind. As Diana deliberated, another visitor entered the cafe, a simple-looking man who joined her table. Their conversation drifted to the menu, and Bacchus couldn't help but eavesdrop on their exchange.
Not yet.
Diana replied to the man's inquiry about her order, her attention still fixated on the array of options before her. The man's inquiry about her usual choice prompted Diana to consider her options anew. Bacchus listened intently as they discussed their uncertainty. With a patient smile, Bacchus interjected, offering a suggestion to ease Diana's indecision.
If you'd like, you could try the iced coffee mocha. It's a refreshing choice for a hot day like today.
Diana's expression remained puzzled as she glanced back at the menu, contemplating Bacchus's recommendation. Eventually, she made her decision, turning to the man beside her to inquire about his preference. Their orders confirmed, Bacchus tallied their choices and processed the payment with practiced efficiency. With their beverages secured, Diana and the man settled back into their seats, their conversation resuming with a newfound sense of clarity. And as Bacchus observed their interaction, he couldn't help but admire the simple pleasure of companionship found within the walls of the cafe. As Diana and her companion strolled away from the cashier, Bacchus's gaze followed their path, noting their decision to settle on the terrace instead of their usual corner spot. Despite the empty table awaiting them, they opted for a different vantage point. This was an anomaly. Despite the sun casting its warm, golden glow outside today, Diana invariably found herself drawn to that secluded corner table. A sense of disquiet settled over Bacchus as he observed Diana's demeanor. She no longer exuded the familiar aura of quiet introspection that had characterized her previous visits. Instead, she appeared like any other woman in the cafe, her attention wholly devoted to her companion. Gone was the enchantment that had surrounded Diana, her focus now solely on her partner's words and gestures. Bogus couldn't help but feel a pang of disappointment, as if a cherished illusion had been shattered. Diana seemed indifferent to the weather, her indifference contrasting sharply with her previous fascination with the nuances of nature. Bogus pondered whether she had overlooked the deeper significance of the day's weather, a missed opportunity for contemplation. He couldn't shake the feeling of unease that settled upon him. Was there something extraordinary about Diana's companion that eluded his perception? Or was he merely another face in the crowd, indistinguishable from the rest? Ultimately, Bogus resigned himself to the realization that Diana's choices were her own, beyond his influence or understanding. She had the right to pursue her own path, even if it diverged from the one he had imagined for her. With a sigh, Bogus returned his focus to his duties, letting go of the fleeting sense of disappointment that lingered in his heart. After all, Diana was but a passing presence in his life, her significance fleeting in the grand scheme of things. In another day, Diana came again.
Good afternoon.
Bogus greeted her warmly as she approached the counter.
What can I get for you today?
Cappuccino float. Small, please. Drink it here.
Diana responded with a firmness that caught Bogus off guard. Her decisiveness marked a stark contrast to her previous indecision. Bogus couldn't help but notice that Diana was alone this time, without her companion from before. The absence didn't go unnoticed, sparking a curiosity within Bogus.
How are you doing? Is your friend joining you later?
Bogus teased her gently.
He ran away.
Diana replied curtly, completing the payment digitally. Surprised by her response, Bogus hesitated for a moment. Diana's demeanor seemed tense and rigid, a departure from her usual calmness. As Bogus prepared Diana's order, he stole glances at her from afar, noting her distant expression. Something seemed amiss, and Bogus couldn't shake the feeling of concern for her well-being. Observing Diana's behavior, Bogus couldn't help but wonder about the events that had transpired. Had something happened between her and her companion? The questions lingered in his mind as he watched her quietly sip her drink. Despite the chill in the air, Diana opted for a cold beverage, a choice that puzzled Bogus. He couldn't fathom her reasoning, but respected her decision nonetheless. As Diana finished her drink, her companion from the previous day approached her, attempting to engage her in conversation. However, Diana remained silent, her attention elsewhere. Bogus couldn't help but feel a pang of sympathy for Diana as he witnessed her silent struggle. He hoped that tomorrow would bring her peace and solace, free from the turmoil of the present moment. This morning was a good day at Rain Cafe. A birthday celebration for a junior high school student brought an air of festivity, and Bogus found himself immersed in preparations, from decorating the room to arranging entertainment with clowns and magicians, all while attending to the cafe's usual patrons. Despite his busy schedule, Bogus hoped for Diana's presence among the visitors. However, as the day drew to a close, Diana was notably absent. Feeling a sudden chill, Bogus realized that he had been battling a sore throat since the previous day. Despite his discomfort, he had pushed himself to work diligently, driven by his responsibilities at the cafe.
Bro, can I order sandwiches and espresso as usual, please?
A girl reminded Bogus, noticing his weariness as he momentarily rested his eyes.
Oh, hi Ken's Monica?
Bogus replied.
Sure thing, right away.
Bogus roused himself and attended to Kenza's request, though his mind drifted momentarily to the absence of Diana. In the midst of his tasks, Bogus couldn't shake the feeling of longing for Diana's presence. Her habitual visits had become a comforting routine, and her absence left a noticeable void. Despite his desire to wait for Diana, Bogus' weakened condition compelled him to prioritize his health. Reluctantly, he relinquished the hope of seeing Diana that day, uncertain of her plans but longing for her familiar presence in the cafe. A few hours later, the person he had been waiting for finally arrived. Regrettably, Bogus has already departed for home. He was granted early leave due to his poor health.
One hot cappuccino, please?
Diana ordered firmly, her voice carrying a sense of determination.
Large or medium?
Inquired the barista who took Bogus' place.
Large.
She confirmed without hesitation.
Take it home or drink it here.
Here.
Diana replied. With a nod, the staff checked the payment and assured her.
I will deliver it to your table.
Thank you.
Diana acknowledged softly. Shortly after, the barista delivered the steaming cup of cappuccino to a table in the quiet corner of the cafe, where Diana sat immersed in her Kindle gadget.
A hot large cappuccino coming right up. This is the best cappuccino in Woofy Village. Enjoy, miss.
Announced the barista. Diana responded with nothing more than a smile. However, she didn't immediately reach for the drink. Her attention remained captivated by the pages of her e-book, her mind seemingly transported to another realm of imagination filled with fictitious characters and their struggles. As she enjoyed her read, Diana couldn't help but notice the absence of the familiar male waiter who often served her. Perhaps it was his day off, leaving the evening shift to someone else. Despite the restlessness that consumed him, Bogus Tenanto found himself in a predicament. The quiet boarding house only amplified his loneliness as his friends were out enjoying the weekend evening. Throughout the afternoon, Bogus attempted to distract himself from the persistent pain, seeking solace in various activities such as watching YouTube or listening podcast episodes while scrolling through social media. Yet, the pain persisted, refusing to be alleviated. Desperate for relief, Bogus attempted to purchase medicine through an online transportation application, only to be thwarted by a network error. Turning to the medicine box provided by the boarding house owner, he discovered it contained only remedies for wounds and diarrhea, offering no respite for his current ailment. With no one around to turn to for assistance, Bogus reluctantly decided to venture to the pharmacy himself. As he made his way, passing by Rain Cafe, a glimmer of hope emerged. There, in her favorite chair, sat the figure he had been anticipating, Diana Maharani. She engrossed in her e-book reader, with the drink placed delicately on the table. The sight of her sparked a mix of emotions within Bogus, as he contemplated whether this unexpected encounter might bring a change to his restless night. Just by observing her from a distance, Bogus found himself smiling. Half of his ailments seemed to magically dissipate. The radiant full moon mirrored precisely the state of Bogus' heart at that moment. It was so beautiful.